The G87 M2 is a super capable car. Powered by the S58 engine, it makes 453 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. Well, according to BMW at least. I actually put my stock M2 on a dyno a while ago and it made way more power. While that power is more than enough for most people, I wanted more juice. We previously installed a daily performance module which doesn't require you to flash the car's DME, and it's an all plug-and-play system. The install took less than an hour and we gained 80 plus wheel horsepower and torque with no supported mods. Now it's been a few months since the M2 got the daily tune, and yet again I was ready for more power. Big power, here we come. For those not aware, BMWs with post-June 2020 build dates need to send their DMEs overseas to a company called Femto. They perform their magic, send it back, and now you can tune the car. By the way, we do offer this service by partnering up with Euro Performance Center, where you let us do all the work. We fill out all the necessary paperwork, hand deliver it to Femto, bring it back, and ship the DME back to you. I will leave links to our website down in the video's description if you're interested in that service. Removing the DME is pretty simple on these cars. First, make sure to document where all the connectors go. They are labeled by colored tape, which should make things a bit easier. Next, start from the front and move your way to the back. There's a small tab you push on each connector to release the latch. Then all you have to do is fully open the latch and the connector starts to slide out. Then you just have to pull the connector straight out, and not at an angle, guys. Straight out.
Yeah, for an hour maybe?
It's hot. Here you go.
Oh my God. Okay, it's hot. All right, so now we're gonna package it up, overnight it over to Euro Performance Tuning, get this baby unlocked. All right guys, so one quick note, something I forgot to do before removing the DME, which is super important because these cars can get automatic updates. You'll go into system settings right here. You'll go down to where it says data privacy, and you see all these sections here. Individual, which is your, the ones linked to your account. Then you go where it says remote software upgrade. We're gonna take that one off. The reason we're doing this is because we don't want them to update anything on the DME, because if that's the case, you might have to send out your ECU again to get re-unlocked. Automatic app updates, I'm also going to switch that one off. It's supposed to be only for apps, but I don't want to take a chance. So there's that. Also, I found this one, improvement of service quality. So I'll go ahead and deactivate that as well. And just like that, we got the ECU back. And now all we have to do is install it. So the easiest way to find out if you installed the DME correctly with all the plugs where they're supposed to go, just gotta try to start the car. Bingo! We'll be using our go-to today, which is our favorite here. It's the MHC Universal Wi-Fi Adapter. This works on E, F, G BMW chassis and also the A90, A91 Supra. We've been using it ever since MHC released it, and we love this little thing. It's super reliable, very fast, and it does have an automatic shutoff. This is way better and faster than the old orange one, and I think like 10 to 15% faster than the previous black F&G adapter MHC used to offer. So this is a go-to if you guys need it. We do sell it directly. We sell a ton of these actually. So I'll leave a link down in the video's description, or you can just buy it at vehiclevirals.com. While MHD Plus is not necessarily a new thing for many BMW models, it is a new feature for post-June 2020 build dates. Something we have been waiting for a long time. And honestly, it's a big reason why I waited this long to send my M2's DME out. I didn't want to send it out twice, meaning if you unlocked your car's DME prior to the MHD Plus update, you would have to send it out again to enjoy all the new MHD Plus features. So we'll go ahead and plug it in to the car's OBD port right here. For the G87, we'll be using the MHD F&G app. If you have an E-chassis car, either N54 or N55E, you'll have to download those. We're gonna go ahead and connect to the MHD Wi-Fi adapter, eNet. First thing I advise you guys to do if you do get the MHD Universal Adapter is go to codes and actually read your codes, and it'll start updating the firmware on the adapter. That normally fixes a lot of the bugs you get when you first buy it. If you're unsure about your MHD needed an unlock, there's an unlock check here directly on the app, and it'll tell you right here if you need an unlock or a bench lock or anything like that. In my case, it says Femto unlock with MHD Plus detected V1, so we are good to go. So along with the unlock check on the tune tab, you also have flash an MHD map, which is all their OTS maps that they offer for your car. Flash a backend map and flash a custom map, which I'll probably be using in the future. If you go down there to stock, you can actually flash the car back to stock. By the way, if you sent your car over to Femto to get unlocked, or if you use the service with us, do not flash back to stock. You would have to resend your DME back overseas to get unlocked if that's the case. If you ever want to go back to stock power, just use this section here that says flash stage 0, which is technically an MHD flash, but with your stock power. Generate updated stock. Generate updated stock. God, get out of here. Generate updated stock flash if you're doing custom tune. Normally your tuner will ask you for that. Next tab is the monitor tab, where you can do data logging. You can look at all the parameters like IATs, engine oil, temperature, short-term fuel trims, all that good stuff. You can customize that however you want. Normally when you open it up, it's kind of like not pre-configured, but you can always mess with that. Down here you can graph a log after you record something. Codes, where you can read codes and reset adaptations. All right, for the fun stuff, we have the OTS maps right here. You have stage 0, stage 1, and stage 2. You also have MHD Plus multi-map, which is very handy. You can essentially switch map tunes on the fly. So for example, let's say you have stage 2 E40 selected, and you're kind of running out of fuel and you don't have an E85 station nearby. You can always just, on the fly, switch to your 93 map, which is very convenient. You can have up to 4 map slots, which is very cool. We're gonna skip over stage 1, that's for stock cars, which is very cool for those that don't really want to modify their cars or anything like that. You can still gain quite a bit of power with that tune. We're gonna do stage 2 since I have aftermarket downpipes. We'll do 93, and in a future video we'll try out E40 and E85 and just compare them all. We'll select stage 2. Before we do the map right, we'll go to options here. CAN bus, ECA preset. If you're doing flex fuel and stuff, you have options here. So MHD, ECA, motive reflex, activate anti-lag. Yes sir, we'll activate that baby. And then we'll do boost target, slide it all the way to the end. So that'll be 20 PSI. Woo, yeah. Allow MHD Plus controls, so you can allow map switch, or you can just block it. There's also the option for no lift shift, which is very cool. Something I've actually never tried before, but it is what it sounds like. You literally floor in the throttle, and you don't let off the throttle when you're shifting gears. So you can essentially maintain the power delivery. That is very awesome, but I'm very scared to try it out. I did talk to the guys at MHD, and I did talk to my tuner David Shoop, and they said it's a good feature and it's pretty safe. So, I mean, why not? Let me go ahead and activate it. And then you can set the minimum RPM, 5,000, 7,000. I guess we'll leave it like that. For those of you guys that want to remove the top speed limiter and you didn't buy, I don't know, the M package or the carbon package, whatever includes normally that top speed limiter increase, well, you can do it here with MHD. Increase the iDrive power and torque gauges. Yes. Exhaust burble, I'm definitely going to keep that off, even though I have OEM burbles that I am not a huge fan of. Shift BRAP, which is if you have the automatic 8-speed, then I guess you get a fart noise in between shifts, and some people like that shit. All right, we're ready to flash the car. By the way, good idea to always hook up the car to a battery charger. You do not want to break your car mid-tune. That wouldn't be fun. Let's do it. Bro, 10 seconds for a flash. 10 seconds. That is unreal. I think what I'm mostly excited about is I'm finally not gonna have that check engine light that's normally down here on the bottom right because of my high flow downpipes. So that is awesome.
I know a ton of you aren't a big fan of burbles, but many are all about it. So I wanted to mess around with the MHD burble settings. My M2 already comes with burbles from factory when in Sport Plus, which to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of. And here's what they sound like. Just know I am running a full FI exhaust setup on the M2 with high flow catted downpipes, which shameless plug we sell on our website, vehiclevirals.com. So those were the OEM burbles, obviously a little louder because of the FI exhaust. Now it was time to jump on the MHD app and configure loud burbles with the tune. All we have to do is go back to the stage 2 map and under options enable burbles and choose the settings that you want. I decided to set the burbles to hard for aggressiveness and a longer duration, and here's what it sounds like. So now to go the opposite direction. BMW doesn't give us a way to turn off the burbles when the car is set to Sport Plus, which honestly, I don't know why. So I decided to experiment. What if I enable MHD burbles and choose the lowest possible settings? Would it be a workaround to eliminate burbles entirely? Well, let's find out.
Okay, so that hack is pretty cool. Kind of sort of turn off burbles by enabling burbles.
putting the setting to soft and duration to 0. Not sure what it sounded like from the outside of the car, but on the inside of the car, you couldn't hear any burbles at all. Normally you can hear the OEM ones. So that's a very cool hack. Probably very late to the party here. Well, I'm just figuring this out and I'm kind of hyped.
As many of you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of burbles, which is why I was trying to figure out how to turn them off completely, even from the OEM side. But every once in a while, you want to have a party trick, right? And have those burbles without having to re-flash the car, which leads me to MHD Plus multi-map. You have 4 slots, so you can have 4 different configurations. So the idea here is I would have map slot 1 to 93 with essentially the OEM burbles. Map slot 2 would have the super aggressive burbles. And then map slot 3 will put the E40 map, since in a near future video we'll be flashing at that one to see how saucy it is. And then for map slot 4, we'll try out the E85 map.
To adjust the different map slots is simple. Before flashing the car, go to the options on each slot and tailor it to your liking. Then flash the car, and that's it. You have MHD Plus map switching available.
The cool thing about this is just using like steering wheel controls, and by looking at the display, you can switch between those 4 maps on the fly without having to reflash the car. That is freaking cool. So to activate map switching on the fly, locate the BC button. We'll hold that down for a few seconds. Once you hold it down, check engine light starts to blink. That goes to show you where you're like in that map switching mode. RPM stays stuck at 1. So RPM 1, 2, 3, 4. That's essentially slot 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll use the dial here to switch between the maps. So you have slot 1. Then if you go up in the dial, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4. So let's go back to slot 1. And then to select that map, you hold down the BC button down for a few seconds. RPMs go back to normal, check engine light disappears.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty cool because you can go, like I said earlier, you got the stage 2 93 for the first maps, and you got the E40 map, E85. I can see that really helping people out in a situation where, let's say you have the E40 map, you're low on tank, and you don't have like an ethanol gas station nearby, well, you can just switch to the 93, get some regular 93 gas. So that's one.
All right, so we're going for the first drive with the MHD Stage 2 93 map. Get excited, guys. Especially just high horsepower in general on a rear wheel drive car. 6-speed manual should be a lot of fun. I did open up MHD app right here, and I did set some parameters so we can log and look at. So we have boost, intake temperature, rail pressure, charge, air temperature, short-term fuel trims 1 and 2, oil pressure, and we got long-term fuel trims. You can obviously customize this however you want, but this is how I'm gonna have it, and I'll log all the pulls that I do today. I did set up the sport displays here, so pound feet of torque, horsepower, that's probably not gonna be accurate, but whatever. PSI should be accurate, so the amount of boost, and then we got the engine oil temperature. So in real time, you guys will be able to see how much PSI the turbos are pushing, so that's really cool. And on the left-hand side of my cluster here, I have the temperature for the tires. So yeah, let's do it. So the car's in Sport Plus, all the way, all the settings, and we have traction fully off. Let's try a second gear pull. Holy shit. The very first thing I noticed, a lot of top end, like a lot of top end. Once you get up to like the higher part of the RPM, this fucking pulls like a train. Much faster than stock, and even faster than the Baylor setup I had before this one. Wow, me like it. First gear pull, baby. Traction fully off. Oh my God. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. So with this screen, we'll see how much PSI MHD is pulling, and we'll compare it to the actual MHD app. So we do third gear.
The M2 Sport gauges were pretty spot on. The car was pushing 29 PSI, which is insane.
So to activate anti-lag, we set ours to 20 PSI on the MHD app. Little knob here, you hold it down. Once you get up to like what, 4,000 RPM, mash on the throttle, and then you let it build boost. You let go of that, and the car should take off relatively fast. We'll give that a shot. We'll do second gear anti-lag and see how that feels. That's legit. I know on MHD I put 20 PSI for the anti-lag. I think it was at like 25, 26 here on the screen. So It built about 25 PSI according to the car. All right, so we're gonna do log. We have it set up here. I'll hit log, start log whenever I'm ready, or you can do it on automatic, but I'm gonna do it manually. So we'll start log. And now it will stop. Boop. Let's try launch control, which is probably not the smartest thing with a tune like this for rear-wheel drive 6-speed manual, but I wanna give it a shot. Kind of slippery. By the way, to do launch control you have to be on MDM mode, so it kind of limits the wheel spin. So you know, it cut power out just a little bit, but it was still fun.
Next video, we will try out the famous MHC OTS E40 map that is supposed to yield around 700 horsepower. Of course, we'll take the car for a drive, measure the 60 to 130 time, and put the car on the dyno. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Also, make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, as it does help out the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.